Comptia Pentest Plus 01B1, outlining PCI DSS. S1 standard that outlines exact requirements for safely handling data, is Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS. This specifies the controls that must be in place to securely handle credit card data. Controls include methods to minimize vulnerabilities, employ strong access control, along with consistently testing and monitoring the infrastructure. Threat actors attempt to obtain credit card information, such as account number and other elements necessary to impersonate the cardholder. The standards exist as a way of dealing with threats to the security of cardholder data, whether online or at a brick-and-mortar store. The attack vectors and threats to credit card data can be vast. To address this, PCI DSS standards provide granular details on methods to secure data. Within the framework, there are 6 categories that describe what is required. The categories list a specific goal, and then define the requirement. To summarize, an organization must do the following in order to protect cardholder data. Create and maintain a secure infrastructure by using dedicated appliances and software that monitor and prevent attacks. Employ good practice strategies, such as changing passwords from the vendor default, and training users not to open suspicious emails. Continuously monitor for vulnerabilities and employ appropriate anti-malware protection that is continuously updated. Provide strong access control methods by using the principle of least privilege, and routinely monitor and test networks. In addition, the organization must create and maintain appropriate information security policies that define the rules of proper behavior. If a merchant fails to comply and are in violation of the requirements, they can face a substantial fine, and even lose the ability to handle credit card transactions. PCI DSS compliance relies on a continuous process of assess, remediate, and report. By using the prescribed controls, this ongoing process provides the greatest level of security.
A company must be vigilant and take efforts to secure the data.
However, although in a company's best effort, they may not have done enough. The only way to tell if they have achieved the goal of being PCI DSS compliant is by completing an assessment and then reporting the results. PCI DSS is not a law, therefore, there is no government oversight. However, it's imperative that anyone that deals with cardholder data must comply with the guidelines. The security level will define whether the merchant must complete a self-assessment or have an external auditor assess whether or not the merchant is compliant. In addition, the level also defines whether they must complete a report on compliance. ROC. Therefore, the first step is to identify how many transactions are done on a yearly basis. Once the value is determined, the merchant is then ranked. The levels are as follows. Level 1 is a large merchant with over 6 million transactions a year. Level 2 is a merchant with 1 to 6 million transactions a year. Level 3 is a merchant with 20,000 to 1 million transactions a year. Level 4 is a small merchant with under 20,000 transactions a year. The activity required for each level to prove compliance with the guidelines is as follows. Level 1 must have an external auditor perform the assessment by an approved qualified security assessor, QSA. Levels 1 and 2 must complete a ROC. Levels 2 to 4 can either have an external auditor or submit a self-test that proves they are taking active steps to secure the infrastructure. In addition to PCI DSS, there are several laws in the United States and the European Union, EU, that deal with the protection of consumer data. One such law is GDPR, which has a global reach.